We are off out to see if we can catch up with a few foxes for the local farmers. That's what we're going to try and do, and hopefully then we won't have to catch up with them again. Yeah, we want to get a few knocked over if we can. We've just come out the back of that storm Arwen, I think it's called. So hopefully things are a bit calmer tonight. It's dry, it's a bit warmer than it has been, so hopefully they'll be out and about. It's a little bit, not too windy, it's a bit more windy than I'd like. So hopefully that doesn't create as a problem. I like a still night so that the sound of the caller can travel in every direction for as far as possible. Obviously the wind will sort of dictate that a bit tonight, but we'll see how we go. A couple of quick loud calls, 10-15 minutes per stand, move on, flick the lamp about in between, and yeah, see what we find. We're big open territory. When I say on a stand, we want at least 300 yards visibility all round if we can, and they can come from any direction. So whilst I'm looking that way, Rob will be looking that way. If I'm shooting that way, Rob will be looking that way. And we've had it before where Rob taps me on the shoulder, you know, once you've shot that one, spin round, there's another one here or whatever. So yeah, teamwork. And if dare I say it, I hope I don't, but if I miss one and I'm reloading whatever else, Rob can track it and tell me where I need to be if there's chance of a second shot.
In between nothing, obviously.
Yeah, there'll be plenty of that, I'm sure. So, in fact, what's that there? Just turn that off, Charlie. Woo! It's the first one down. I'm shaking like a leaf because I'm not sure what this crop is. I think it's a bit of sugar beet with a bit of rubbish growing in it, and just through the thermal I saw a glint. I didn't know if it was a hare jumping about or a fox or what, but then I ID'd him as a fox, got on the rifle, nearly ran out of room to shoot him, but anyway, he just came to the left nicely, got him shot. I didn't see him coming from 300 yards away, so I didn't have time to nicely get settled and relax or whatever. It all happens very quick and get a bit panicky, but anyway, we got him, I think, did we? Yes. It looked good, sounded good, it didn't run off, so I'm assuming Rob was watching in the thermal, so if he didn't see it run, that'll do me. It all went well as far as I'm concerned, so we'll give it a blast on another call, just see if we can get another one. Then we'll go find out what we've got and move on. Woo! The rifle is a Tikka T3X Lite, I think. The most important thing about all this kit is the cushion. If it wasn't for the cushion, I can't shoot off sticks. To take and make some of the shots we do, you know, on a still night, we wouldn't tonight because it's a bit too windy, but if you're shooting out to 300 yards, you've got to be absolutely rock steady. So on the back of this truck with the bipod and the cushion, you know, you can sort of pack the cushion up, get the back of the rifle up, you can hold it tight. You should be able to make those shots all day long. Do not tell my mother I've got this. She still doesn't know. She's not your sort of audience, so I'm fairly sure she won't watch this and see, but if she does, I will be in trouble. If I miss a fox, well, then it's either I've done something really wrong or we've got a dodgy bullet or something like that, which does happen. Out the box, normal rounds, 58 grain VMAX, and they're factory rounds. You get the odd one that's not got the same amount of powder in or the bullet's not quite seated right. You do get flyers. Moderator could come loose, but it doesn't generally. But yeah, shooting from that, it's pretty well bench shooting really. So once we've gone to the effort of getting out here, getting all the gear, getting all the kit, getting out in the cold, setting up, squeaking, we've actually got a fox in range. The last thing we want to do is go and miss it. So that's the setup. We're using the Pard 007, which this is one of the first ones that came out, and I actually bought it for the 1.7 really, just to play about with and do a bit of filming and whatnot, but I got on with it so well I decided to put it on the 243. It probably costs me a fox or two because it takes a little bit of time to come on and you get a bit of image lag and the image isn't as clear as what an archer would be, but it's a hell of a bit of kit, really good. PBIRL torch on top, hawk sidewinder scope with the big, I don't know if I can say this, but the big gay wheel on the side that you do the parallax with. Just handy when it's cold or you've got gloves or whatever, you can't quite feel what you're doing on the little wheel, but yeah, works well, works a treat. Bright white, set of perfect teeth. I'd say they're probably a couple of this year's. Good job done. The farm behind us is what I would say is a big modern farm. Big fields, big kit, no hedgerows, massive fields. This field we're actually stood in is 200 acres on the nose. And then everything in front of me is what I would call very old-fashioned. A lot of small fields, a lot of hedges, perfect fox territory. That hedge there is only, probably straight across, is probably only about 100 yards away. And I thought that's where they'd come from. If there was one here and it was going to come from there. Sure enough, came straight through the hedge, quick, rushed, got on it, then it ran up the hedge, and it must have been the other side of 200 yards when I shot. Howling wind that way, not ideal. I don't know, I'll start with the excuses now, but long and the short of it, the fox got away, and we'll have to come and try him another night on a different call. But on a still night, he would have crept through that hedge and probably just sat there a treat, and you could have shot him all day long. But with the wind going as it is that way, he'll hear us, he'll smell us. He came through the hedge, he was straight on his toes, just came through the hedge again. I thought it was good enough for a shot, took the shot, probably rushed it. Thought I'd only got a split second for the shot, but anyway. That is how foxing goes. We'll try and forget about that one, and I'll try and not let my mind wander that my rifle's off zero or whatever. Onward. As ever, that was edge of your seat stuff. It wouldn't have come nicely from a long way off. I suddenly saw one fox running like crazy, and then I saw another white blur in the thermal. I think we now realise, because Rob said he saw two, definitely two in the thermal, so there was either two coming together, one chasing the other or whatever. I thought it was a fox chasing ahead to start with, but anyway. I dropped the thermal, got the rifle, and it was right where I didn't want it, dead in front of the truck, so I had to get on the side step, stand off the side step, lean on the roof. Mother's trusty cushion blew off the roof and went halfway down the field. Rob set off after that, retrieved the cushion for me, somehow managed to get set up, and then he came round as a bit sort of right-handed just to get on the wind, and he was straight downwind of us. Bright white, sharp, fresh, look young, don't they? Not getting any older. By rights we shouldn't have shot that, because we had a bit of a kerfuffle, and then he was downwind. But anyway, we got him shot. Dog fox. Farmer will be over the moon. He's got a bit of cover down the end of this field where he taps it out for a wild bird or two once a year, so he'll be delighted with that. They do all appear to be this year's young, but I mean, I would call them all adult foxes now. You know, they're all reacting well to the caller. Well, they did obviously. The vixen in heat one, I think those two were vixen in heat, and that was a platinum grey. They came really well. I mean, the first two came steaming in. That one did as well. We think he had a mate with him. But yeah, there's plenty of stock out there, young and old. Just got to pray for the right night, and yeah, go get them when we can. We'll call that it, and we'll see if we can't catch them another night.